In this video, we want to review our work finding the area between curves and also the problems around Gini coefficients or Gini index. But to start, let's look at how we can remind ourselves about how we can find the area between two curves. In this example, we have the square root of x and x squared. I've already defined these functions, and we're just going to look at them on the domain 0 to 1. So first things first, take a peek at a plot. All right, and so the region in between these curves is what we are going to find the area of. This region in here. And like we talked about in class, what we can do is we can find the area under this top curve, which we know is the square root of x on 0 to 1. And we wrote that as the definite integral from 0 to 1, square root of x with respect to x. That will give us this full area, and then what we can do is we can subtract the lower area underneath x squared from that, and all we'll be left with is this area in between. So between x squared, and in fact we can just write this as one big integral, top minus bottom. So to evaluate this on the computer, we used this quad function. So first, let's just go ahead and use our functions that we've defined and evaluate these individual areas. But we have to define a new function to use that to solve the difference between the two. So the area between the square root of x and x is going to be quad. That was our function is f, and we're going from 0 to 1. Now this gives back two numbers, the first of which is the area, the second of which is an error expression. So we are only interested in the first. We get that with this bracket 0. So there's our area 1. Our second area will similarly be quad. Now we're interested in g from 0 to 1. And the total area between the curves is the area under the f minus the area under g. Right, so we get a third. And if we wanted to do this in one fell swoop, we can't quite say like we want. It doesn't, and if we call f of x and g of x, this will still give us an error. So instead what we have to do is define a new function, maybe call it area, and return f of x minus g of x. Once we do that, we can pass that function. You see that we get the same result as when we found those individually. Okay, so the area between two curves, we just need to take away the curve below from the curve above, or the area of the curve under the curve below from the area under the curve above. And here's how we can do that either individually, or if we want to just do it in one call to quad.